Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Broventure, the Wild Co-op. It is a 1 to 4 player cooperative bullet heaven that is out now today on Steam. I played the demo for this a little while ago, rather enjoyed it, and yeah, it's finally out, so if you do want to pick it up and play it yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. It's made by Alice Games, who are kind enough to reach out and sponsor this video. So we got some stuff that I could do in town, but I think I'm going to leave that for after, and we're just going to dive into a run and see how it goes. So, game itself is a fairly standard bullet heaven. It doesn't change up the formula too much, with one major notable exception of you're grabbing resources. And I mean, I guess that's pretty standard to like a number of these, but it's specifically for like town building and equipment building, which I actually think is a really neat kind of way of handling things. It's giving me Don't Starve vibes, which I think is very much the point. Yeah, we go out on runs, we go grab wood, stone, ore, crystals, so on and so forth, and use those to unlock new characters, build structures in town, and definitely get new equipment to roll with. So, technically a little bit in, I've got a pair of gloves and boots at the moment. Oof, these are rough. I'm gonna just say no, and we're gonna look around for a hot second. Those were very common basic upgrades, and I did not want any of those. Supposedly you can get rerolls on the map just as a like resource, but I'm not finding any at the moment. Let's kind of lure enemies through these. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is freeze myself right here. I probably could have waited. So, fun fact about this character I'm playing, they're the frog alchemist wizardy character. They throw ice grenades out which set on the ground to do damage to anything that passes over them. I'll take some health regen, even if so far none of this is like particularly good. But they have the ability to put themselves in a block of ice and makes them invulnerable, has a little bit of a knockback at the end so enemies don't just immediately swarm you. However, as a fun goof, you can still mine resources while you are frozen in a block of ice. And so I like using it as a, kind of safety, grab resources without having to worry about getting completely smacked by foes. Acid Bubble, that's a good one. The extra health would have been nice too, but this way we get 2 ground target zones. So in that case, we really want to go for anything that uses AoEs, persistence, persistent field effects, duration, stuff like that. And see if we can just cover the screen in damage. I'm focused on getting as much wood as I possibly can at the moment, because, well, I need it for gear and equipment right now. I could go for, like, metal ore to unlock a new character, but the basic gear set just requires, like, a couple hundred pieces of wood, and we need that. Bigger pickup radius or crit damage? Ooh, I guess I'll go for the pickup radius. I'm not super in need of pickup radius. Ooh, we have a treasure chest in the top left. I should probably work on that in a moment. Yeah, it's effective. That's where the frog really shines, is standing on a spot and just letting things melt on him. Alright, let's re-roll a couple of these. Cold damage isn't terrible, but I could probably do better. Yeah, 12% to all damage, that's better. If I was going for like a really hard cold build, maybe. Or if I even just had a couple of abilities. But a 16% damage bonus for one weapon at the moment versus a 12% on everything, which is a cumulative 24% damage bonus. Well, kind of, but not really. I don't know. The math on these things are kind of eh. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll get acid bubble upgrades. I don't generally upgrade the weapons, as silly as this sounds, because let's grab this. When you open up treasure chests, you randomly will get upgrades to your weapons, and so it's... I don't know if it's actually better, but it feels like it's better to not buy weapon upgrades. At least in this one. But who knows, maybe there's some back-end math that says I'm very wrong. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here for a second. Unfortunately, my damage at the moment is pretty bad. And so I'm mostly just reliant on having things melt down and giving me a decent chunk of resources. Oh, there's some rerolls. Let's see, is the ice block done? Yeah. Yeah, if I could increase the amount of projectiles I'm throwing out, I would be extremely happy. The chances of that happening, I think, are pretty rare. But yeah, if I could be throwing out more of these ice things, that'd be lovely. Okay. I'm just gonna wait here and let him melt. We don't really have easy ways to do damage. Mostly just reliant on him ending up in one of my acid puddles long term, which I guess I can kind of force here. Grab that. There we go. Yeah. That's nice and easy. Okay, so I want the fire sword somewhat, but I think I'm going to go for a 24% AoE bonus. Because boy, if those puddles are huge, I will be a happy camper. It's a hell of a lot of enemies showing up all at once. All right. So I can do boulder, but boulder's not elemental. I actually don't know if there's a difference, but look at how much bigger those puddles are now. Yeah, standard difficulty is fairly easy. Most things die kind of fast, and so I'm probably better off just focusing on AoE and rate of fire rather than specific damage. Hopefully these treasure goblins get kind of beasted soon. I know they drop a decent amount, and yeah, they're just stealing my jams. Unfortunately, they're kind of tough. Chest has been spawned. Well, we see the activator. I could go for the acid crossbow. I'd like a fire puddle, frankly. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't die. Unfortunately, I don't know how hard it is to kill those guys. Okay, go and grab the turnip. There he is. Yeah, I have no easy... Oh, look at all that. I don't know if those guys escape. I certainly hope they don't. I'm just gonna go for some big pickup radius. Not that I actually care for it, because there are magnets that routinely spawn. And so there's not, like, a whole lot of reason for me to spec hard into pickup radius. But if I don't have any other better options, I'll go for it. Okay, some purple experience. Now what we need to do is find the treasure chest. Found it. So that boosts two things. I think I'm going to go for the max HP. Regen in this game is not a flat amount. It scales based on how much HP you have. So the bigger my health total, the better I heal. Alright, let's keep our distance. It's over here somewhere. 8 seconds left. There it is. Yeah, another magnet right at this time is very good. Evasion, damage from abilities. I go for the crit damage, except for my crit chances right now is abysmal. Let's see. Gotta be kind of careful. And unfortunately, I think this character is a little tricky. Having played some of the other ones in the demo, I do feel like this guy's maybe one of the harder ones to get working. Oh, pickup radius, though. I got 14 tokens. I can reroll into something at least halfway doable. I probably could have waited a little bit, but it's fine. I do enough damage. Okay. These archers are tricky. Mainly because I have no way of aiming any of my attacks. Okay. Nope, we're good. We already got that one. Yeah, because with some builds, you can have, like, shoots at the nearest enemy or swings at the nearest enemy and stuff like that. That works for the acid crossbow, but only the acid crossbow. Which makes it a little harder. Not overwhelmingly. Because that's going to get distracted on all of the other regular enemies. Is the boss just... The boss might be stuck. I've noticed some enemies do randomly get stuck for some reason. I'll probably get in there and fight him. It looks like he's in the middle of a charge animation. But... let's see. It might be in the middle of a charge animation, but it didn't quite proc correctly. Maybe because I moved out of range and he tried changing his mind. Okay, max health, damage from using abilities. Yeah, we just want to focus on damage for a bit. And if the boss is dead, I will just kindly put him out of his misery. Yep, nope. Looks like the boss is just broken. Oops. I mean, I am playing a pre-release version of the game. There shouldn't be that much expectation that everything is pristine. Okay, I'm just gonna shield up for a second. Might be able to knock him out of it. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh well, it's fine. There's other bosses for me to fight. They can't all get distracted by wiggling. Did all of the loot goblins just despawn? They might have. Oof. Ice Thorn's Fire Hammer. I'll take that. That gives me one weapon that attacks in a nearby zone. I'm gonna go for the attack speed just because I don't think I've invested much into it. AoEs would be nice though. Unfortunately, I don't think the Fire Hammer really acts as much of a... It doesn't do much for knockback, so... I can't slow enemies down. Luckily, the bubbles do a reasonably good job of taking things out. The bubbles, the pools. Okay, my health isn't looking too bad. And we got some stat points. Oh, we only got one, though. I mean, it's fine. Landmine is scaring me. Plunked it down right before I went to the... Or right before I went to the bubble or right before it died. I'm not entirely sure, and it wasn't proccing. And, yeah, I'm a little scaredy. You know, I only have 150 HP. It's not hard to kill this character at the moment. Okay, so the shield is depleting slowly. I wasn't sure if it was one of those that I could sustain it, but it looks like the answer is no. But that's fine, there's other protective bubbles that I can use. They don't specifically need it. I mean, look at how big those pools are. They're doing wonders here. I'll just make them bigger. Unfortunately, I think all of these size bonuses are all additive, rather than multiplicative, so a 8% upgrade at this point is pretty small. Still nice, though. I mean, the bigger I can make my pools, the better. It's also resulting in giant crossbow bolts, which is really not helping too much, but I'll say on a personal level, I really appreciate that it seems like most stat upgrades upgrade every weapon. Too many games have it where they're not very creative with their stats. I mean, that's kind of it. So, for example, with the hammer swing, duration does actually modify it. Oh, that's a very easy chest switch to hit. So for the hammer swing, duration increases how long the hammer is swinging for. And I actually think that's extremely cool. Okay, I'm just gonna keep him here, get him melty, smack him around a bunch. Ooh. Oof. Okay, I messed up. Messed up a little bit. At least we can kind of just play hooky with the guy. Ow. Oof. Oof. Yeah, Frog's a little rough. Okay, well, we got a decent amount of resources at the very least, so that helps. And a couple of stat points. So, did not get enough wood to get that. But at least I can go for damage projectile plus 40%. And... I mean, I might as well grab this. Crit damage multiplier. So it gives extra rewards? No. It's mostly the extra max health. I think this is the one I would have preferred, but we need more of those rocks. At least I've got a full set of gear. I always swap characters. I don't think the frog's exactly doing it for me. Let's be Fox. Actually, let's grab stats. Start training. I think I want to grab 10% mining speed, 10% experience gain, at least for now. There's other stuff I could invest into, but those are the good ones. So this needs wood. Oh, actually, raccoon's pretty easy to grab. Defeat the Leshy. Okay, so that's the last boss of the area. Do I want to try on hard? I could. Amount of resources, power of enemies. I could try it. Let's give it a shot. I know I've been getting drubbed up until now, but I do feel like some part of that is... Oh. Interesting. Each character has their own stats. That might be one of those that actually does kind of come into play here. Okay, and she aims very directly and seems to have piercing, which is good. Does mean that I could get potentially overwhelmed by numbers, but not individuals. High. That's good. Being able to just zip past everything is so nice. So very much goal here is to invest hard into projectiles. So like firebow? Sure. Okay, we're just gonna take everything out with individual shots. I think maybe the frog is one of those that they're kind of a weaker starter. I don't want to say that they're strictly bad because I don't think they are, but as far as like a starting character goes, not sure if they're what's up. I'm actually gonna go for some rerolls. Pickup radius is functionally worthless to me. Some of these games pickup radius is amazing. Some of these games it's not great. It very much is dependent on how many magnets are available. And so as soon as you know, I know that there is magnets in one of these games, I instantly no longer think about whether or not I want to invest into pickup radius, as I know it's not worth it. So we don't want AoE too much, but I'll go for evasion. That's some survivability right there. I want to kill this guy if I can. There he goes. He's not too strong. I think what we need right now is a little bit of regen wouldn't be a bad idea. Attack speed is the big one. Maybe a bit of damage. Well, there's the regen. So that means we heal 2% of our HP every 5 seconds, I think. I think that's how it works. It is interesting how I want to say that's very much an MMO thing. Maybe there's a reason for every 5 seconds, but that's how it worked in like World of Warcraft. And I've seen just a lot of other games mirroring it over the years. And I think I wonder if it's one of those things that people have just gotten like super used to. Okay. The enemies are definitely tougher. Alright, there's our treasure chest. Oh, but I think before I do anything, let's actually swing up here real quick. Interesting. Enemies that are off camera speed up to get next to you. This character has a sprint that makes her invulnerable temporarily. Ice sword. Not feeling it. Bonus damage to accurate tag, though. Yo, that's nice. Okay, so we're looking for... Oh, a treasure chest. Oh, that's easy. got the chest. I don't know what those runestone looking things are. Oh, it leveled up my bow. Okay, physical tag or attack speed. Yeah, we definitely want that attack speed. Because there aren't that many enemies. We just need to fire faster. Oh, excuse me. There we go. A little loot goblin eats my stuff. I don't know if they run away or if they just run around until you kill them. But you do not want to deal with them in the slightest. I want my experience. Though I guess it was nice of them to collect them for me. Alright, let's just give things a bit of a wide berth. The big one is desperately need more weapons. To scale things up a little bit better. Okay, he went down quick. Let's see, mining speed or next level of bow. Let's go for the mining speed. Let's see, boss goes down reasonably fast. Okay, evasion. I guess what I should do, because it seems like he chases me no matter what. When he's doing that chase, instead of running away from him, I should proc this so he slows down, because I don't take any damage from that. We still do kind of want to focus on firing him down. Okay. It's almost toast. Just a number of enemies still kind of remain. There we go. Okay, let's actually proc this real quick. Because I don't think he dropped a magnet. But this will give me some upgrades. Ooh, these are bad. Luckily we have many token. Pickup radius is stinko. A little bit of health regen, sure, I'll take it. Ice block. Sadly, not a projectile. I'm like, I could pick it up anyway. It's not a terrible thing, it's just not that good. Okay, try and toast these guys down. Yeah, unfortunately my arrow shots aim for whoever. And not super consistently. And so it's actually making it a little tricky to kill those guys. Okay. Please die. I want my loot. There we go. Got both of them. Just blind fire off into the distance, took them out. So duration of abilities is kind of hit and miss. Ooh. Yeah, I'll go for that. The main reason for it... Do I want to go for the fire sword? We don't need area of effect. I could go for crit chance. I think I'm just going to pick up the fire sword. It's not what I want. But I could spend this entire run hoping for more projectile weapons and maybe not get it. So I think we just accept something extra. Plus it's an AoE. Okay, just set them all on fire and then let's bail. Because I should be chopping this tree down when I get the chance. I could try going for like the fire hammer as well, see if I can mix like 3 of those, but I truly do not know how evolutions work, so I don't know if that's worth it. Still want to go mostly projectiles if I can, but I'm not going to be like so picky. Ow. Ooh, God, there's a lot of those guys. Acid crossbow. Well, it's a projectile weapon. Where the heck is that treasure chest? Horde is attacking. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, button's there. Okay, just zoom past. Luckily, the whole group just kind of clumps up and makes this somewhat easier. Okay, that's gonna be a help. Fire sword, boulder. Not a projectile. I guess I'm gonna go for duration. Duration, as far as I can tell, just scales their range. Like, a lot of these are not super amazing. Well, that worked out, actually. Played out most of the random grabos. Right, and we do have the 33% mining speed bonus, which is going to be helpful. Because that counts for lumbering, as far as I can tell. And yeah, we have pretty good single targets, so I'm kind of in an okay position for wiping those out. I could go for the ice sword. Does slow down the nearest enemy. I don't hate it, but I don't like it that much. Attack speed. We need more of that anyway. Ideally, I'd like another crossbow or any of the other ranged abilities. Ideally, range physical, but I don't know. Ranged fire, like a fire crossbow, wouldn't be a terrible idea either. Let's see, how's the boss doing? Not too shabby. Yeah, we actually do a decent chunk. I was kind of worried and feeling a little overwhelmed for a moment there. But I think I just needed to kill all the chargy worms. Okay, there we go. Let's kill the boss before I go for the treasure chest. Rude. Not too bad, though. More attack speed. Yes. Because yeah, I want to be able to just melt things down. It seems like the treasure boys show up as soon as I kill a mid-boss. And as soon as I kill the mid-boss, they show up. And then I have to kind of contend with them. It's not too bad. Okay, I think there's another one somewhere, but heck if I know where it is. Oh boy, that's a hell of a lot of enemies. Let's see. Yeah, problem is, don't have enough AoE to like fully take them out, but I have enough to keep them somewhat off of me. I think it's mostly fine. Just if we could gain just a little bit of piercing, that would do the trick. I think I might have actually killed both of the runners. The other one must have just perished off screen without me even noticing. Okay. Working out. Crossbow. Yes. Alright. Now we got a full complement, and most of them get crossover bonuses. Yeah, no, I'm probably not going to invest any upgrades into the fire sword unless it's just random incidental bonuses, like a big upgrade to fire damage. Problem is there's a ranger in the middle of this that's shooting at me. He's kind of the biggest issue. Because most of these other enemies... Oh no, there's two rangers in there. But they've just got a cloud of doodads around them. Okay, there's one down. Yeah, I can use the invincibility of my dash to clear distance. Oh, now there's 3 of them. Okay, chest has been spawned. Also saw a magnet in there. So I think I might be working on other things. Ow. Ow. It's not that bad. Okay. Do I see the chest yet? Not over much. Crit damage, damage for all abilities. The problem is my crit chance is pretty bad. So I'm not really investing into it. Because yeah, I'll have to look at my stats, but I'm pretty sure my crit chance is like 5% or less. But yep, mid-boss spawning. It's okay. Magnet will let me get all of the goodies. Oof. Okay, do have to worry about that. Yeah, what is my crit chance? It doesn't say. I could go for that, but once again, I get those passively. Just by opening up chests and other things. So I might as well mostly... Yes! I mostly should roll down for the possibility of getting something really good. And yeah, piercing is very much that. Okay. I think at this point, I'm actually going to hang out inside this guy's projectile field and melt him down, because we need him dead. Otherwise, he's just going to do drive-by slaps. And, sounds fun on paper, not fun in practice. Really like the enemy design in this game. It looks legitimately good. Like, the mid-bosses are very unique. I can see it getting a little bit repetitive after a while, but I also recognize that none of that, you come back. Ooh, that guy just randomly dropped a level up. Okay. Evasion, piercing power. I think I'm going to keep rolling down. Like I said, we get these automatically from opening chests up. Or just doing things, I'm not entirely sure. And so, investing in buying weapon upgrades is fundamentally worthless to me. It's a waste of a level up. Additional experience, sure? Kind of, oh god. Guess who has 2 thumbs and just burnt out most of his HP running around? Me. It's not great. I have regen, so I'm not like super worried. I just have to not biff it for a while. And we'll get back up to full. Okay, let's just get a couple of Healy berries. Not to be confused with a Halle Berry. Okay. 123 HP, that should be good enough. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys are just a little on the tanky side. And so that's making this a little harder. Hit the magnet. Yeah, I really want to kill this archer, more than anything else. 24% damage to everything, yes. And a stat point from that dude too, yo. I'm just gonna keep rolling until we get something good. I mean, I got 23 tokens, why not, right? Bonus damage to the accurate tag. Heck yeah. That was a very good freeze. Cleared up most of the ne'er-do-wells that were really threatening me, and now it's just a matter of all of the other ones that have spawned. Holy smokes. I think there's somewhat of a... I don't know if it's a quota exactly. It certainly feels like one. Where there have to be X amount of enemies on screen at a time. Okay, here's another couple of trees. Ow. Not sure what hit me. You know, the beetles and the... Or no, it's just the bats shooting at me. Okay, I'm just trying to get as much wood as I can before I'm done. Should I go kill the runner? I think I go kill the runner. Runners. There's 3 of them. Damn. Ended up with a lot. And, like, my damage is very good. This is just so many enemies. I think I'm actually going to go for the 6 armor at this point. Because I think that's just a flat damage reduction. I don't think that's a percentile bonus. It might be percentile bonus. I don't actually know. Okay, there's the boss. However... we don't need to fight the boss at the moment. Or at least he's not public enemy number 1. It's very much the loot goblins. They've taken all of my stuff and then some. And yeah, I'll get a little bit of regen. Thought I put some points into it, but it might also be one of those that I just don't have that much base health. And so the regen doesn't feel as substantial. Okay, so he just do a bubbly. Oddly enough, that as far as mid bosses go, this guy's actually one of the easier ones. Or mid bosses, bosses. Like, I'd say some of the mid bosses are harder than him. This charge of his is a little rough. Like, this is maybe a little tricky to dodge. But that's about his biggest risk to me. Okay. Should I come over here? Sure. Because yeah, I can just juke him a bunch. Grab resources as I go by. I think we get a magnet at the end of this. Right. And I was going for trees. We don't specifically... well, I don't know how much for lumber we need at this point. Bonus acid damage. Extremely limited. Fine. I'll grab the crossbow. Okay, the enemies are furious. I probably should stop messing around. Focus on killing him. And, like... I could also just not kill him. We're gonna get a lot of the progression I need. I thought I could weave through those better, but my hitbox is bigger than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Yeah, the problem is there's just so many enemies spawning in the area. It's making it tricky to clear his massive health bar. Okay, I think I just need to back out for a bit. I'm starting to get surrounded, and that's a corner. It's not a good place to be hiding. We've got a pretty good dash. Okay. Ow. Mining speed. No, like, mining speed could be nice at the moment. Give me a couple last minute resources, but the longer this goes on, the angrier they're going to be. And I shouldn't be pushing my luck too hard. Seems like I'm melting him down at a fine rate, though. Oh, is that it? That was it. Really hoping it would give me a magnet on top of everything, considering how many resources are just sitting around here, but that's okay. Oh, that speeds up his attack speed by 222%. That's actually quite good. Alright. Well, do I want to build the raccoon house? That's not the raccoon house. This is the raccoon house. Sure. Not that expensive. So I could play as the raccoon. The problem is the raccoon is very similar to the fox. It's just he's got a blowgun instead. So I should probably play as, I don't know, the owl? Let's do the owl. Make the rest of that. Okay. And I think we want that helmet because that gives a 30% experience gain bonus. Damage cold, bonus area, and some regen. So I think I'm going to snag that one. I can almost get the full obsidian set, actually. That's fun. I don't think I'm going to bother with the obsidian gloves, though. And the leg armor is tricky. Oh. I'm a fool. Okay. Let's go. Do we do that one more time? I think we want to. Because I could go to the desert. The problem is the desert has a completely different... Oh, and that was just standard difficulty. Holy moly, okay. Yeah, desert's probably going to kick my butt. At least I've got a bunch of stat orbs I can put on things. We're going to get a couple points into damage, because that's going to help. A couple points into that. A couple points there. Crit chance, ability duration, area of effect. A bit of regen. And a bit of pickup radius. Sure. Movement speed could have been good, too. Alright. Yeah, I thought I was on hard. I need a lot of iron. Like about 120. Right? I need 126 is the answer. I think we give it a shot. Let's just do owl hard mode. And we don't need any more lumber, so I can ignore that. We want to go for rock and nothing else. So we got a big sweeping hammer. Does a decent chunk of damage. Okay, attack speed feels pretty good. And yeah, the extra meta progression is liable to make this go considerably faster. Or at least be easier. How does armor work? Reduces damage received by... Oh, it's a percentile bonus. But it scales based on... Got it. Okay, crit damage. That's a bunch of crit damage. Okay, fine. I will invest some effort into crit damage. So what we need most are weapons at this point. If we can get them. Ideally melee weapons. I think I'm going to try and go for just like full bruiser boy. So swords, hammers, all that jazz. Let's see. I guess it's so it's a 5%. That's actually not terrible. Admittedly, I don't think we're taking that much damage from these things. Okay. So here's the fun part about this character, at the very least. I can taunt things. So those runners, I could actually smack down, maybe. because I can lure them in to fight me. 6% chance to crit. It also gives me a bit of a armor boost while it's happening. Okay, there you are. Problem is they're just massively faster than me. Okay. I actually know if I'm hitting him. Hard to tell. Okay, at least there hasn't been that much for him to grab. 30% additional experience. Yeah, I'll take that. The reason why I wanted the meteorite set, apart from just being slightly better and tankier, also gives 30% bonus experience on top of everything else. I don't actually know how much that matters. A lot of these games have diminishing returns in kind of brutal ways. Oof. Okay, skip. Should probably go get the other token rock if I can find, or the token rocks if I can find them. Some thorns damage would do wonders on this character. Okay. Crit chance would be nice, but actually duration is quite good. So, it might seem silly to put duration on a hammer, but it actually gives me a second swing. I'm just not seeing the visual for it. But yeah, I just do not do enough damage to take those guys out. Actually try and kill these bats. More crit damage would be nice, but I think we need that attack speed. Especially while I am currently only using one weapon. Okay, there's the treasure chest. I do really appreciate this camera angle. It makes it a little tricky to see things obviously closer to the screen, but it does mean that I can really see stuff from far away if I get down to the bottom. Evasion, a little bit of armor. We have a bunch of tokens though. I feel tacky. Okay. Size of abilities with hit tag would be nice, but I'm going to keep going for that experience. Mid-boss is up. He's going to be a bit tricky. At least we've got a decent chunk of beef to sustain us. Yeah, so if you notice, now we've got a double swing on our attacks. Okay. There we go. Really? He only had that much on him? I do wonder if those guys make it away. It's physical. I hate it. Like, I could do it. But I really don't want to. Okay, 36% damage on all abilities? Sure. Oh, those are whetstones. That's how my weapons have been leveling up. Yeah, we assuredly need another weapon here. I was gonna say I'll take whatever it gives me, but that's not a weapon. Okay, we're just gonna fight this guy. Okay, it's a hell of a lot of whetstones. Yeah, I don't know if those guys actually disappear or not. Come back, sir. I want to smack you into Tuesday. There we go. Yeah, he's been running around grabbing who knows how much stuff. Fire sword, finally. We can instantly get that up to level 2. 3, 4, and 5. There we go. Now I'm in a good spot. Oh, does the ice turnip actually make the whole game timer stop? Because I noticed no more enemies spawn in. No, it's going. I think that might actually be the case. Alright. My damage is good. My attack speed is looking fairly keen. Yeah, anything that gets close to me gets smacked. Pretty effectively, too. I have no idea what my crit chance looks like. But it's got to be high enough at this point. Okay. And yeah, the hammer gives us a good sweep. The sword is pretty good at focusing on one enemy. And at this point, we have enough of the iron that we can fully call ourselves done with this region. Which means I can start working on the desert. Which I think could be kind of fun. I'm pretty sure it's, of course, going to be harder than this one. Okay, armor, fire damage, or the ice sabercan. Let's just go with this. Keep just taking my damage down. Because my regen's extremely good from what I remember. And so if I just take minimal damage... There we go. Hey, he was still able to grab some stuff. If I can get it so I'm only taking like half damage or less, that should make it pretty easy for me to just face tank a lot of this game, not all of it. I'm not that bold. Okay, could go fire bow. Damage to abilities might not be a bad idea. Movement speed. Not that we need it too deeply, but still. I'm noticing one thing I really dig about this game so far is it seems particularly generous with higher rarity abilities. And maybe that's just, you know, I'm only level 22. Who knows? I just know there's a lot of bullet heavens out there that I play and I'm like just desperately struggling to get any amount of you know, above common rarities. Okay, that hurt. Actually, not too... Okay, this does hurt. Let's see. Duration of abilities. Sure. Because that potentially makes it so that we do a triple hit. I think we are actually doing a triple hit with a hammer now. Okay. We have a treasure chest, but I haven't found the button yet, which means it's probably down. Okay, there it is. Just don't want to be doing this while there's a bunch of projectiles to dive through. So far, so good. You know, surprisingly, I was really expecting trying to do this with a, with only 2 weapons would be tricky. And it is, it hurts a little. But not as bad as you think it would. Electric crossbow, physical, all abilities. I think I could mess with the crossbow, it doesn't vibe. Critical damage, but only heavy tag is tricky. 48% critical damage for everything. Look. I am pretty much typecasting myself into hard crit boy. And it's working. Another chest is spawned. I should... Well, we know where the activator is. I'd like some more crit chance, but I don't want to go for just a 3%. That feels... nah. Yeah, surprisingly, meteorite. Not a heavy weapon. Weird. My sword. Hey. Also not a heavy weapon. Doesn't need to be a heavy weapon. Alright, now we can grab those rune stones. Also slow enemies down. Yeah, so that's why I almost never level my weapons up, because I don't need to. I think you can fully level 4 weapons without ever having to buy an upgrade. Where's the chest? Okay, there's the chest. So then, all you need to do past that point is, you know, maybe put some points into your final weapon, or just say, nah, you know, I don't need all 5 weapons maxed out. Because yeah, now my ice sword is completely maxed. Okay, that AoE is pretty good too. I'd like to get it higher. If I can get lucky enough for it. Okay, mining speed. Kind of worthless to me right now. But I think I can sell these resources later. In trades for like other resources that I do need. And that's worth it. It's a very successful run. I was kind of like, I don't know. I think this is probably going to get messed up. Being very single-minded towards, I'm not going to pick up anything other than a melee weapon. Yeah, no, that was the correct call. I'm just gonna keep him near me. I will suffer no loot thieves. I have so many... Sword! I have almost every sword. There is an acid sword and electric sword, in retrospect. There we go. Yeah, compared to the last 2 runs, this is a freaking cakewalk. I guess the point is I have fairly accurate hits, and big AoEs. And so it makes for extremely easy shredding. Cold Ray. No. Increased size of hit tag. Yes. And now they're so generous with rerolls. I wish I could banish things. I think that's the one feature that this game probably could benefit from, even if it would be kind of maybe broken at times. I think the trick would be just make it so banishes are like 5 tokens instead. Right. We want to slap the mushroom into Tuesday. Yeah, don't let it get too close, don't get too far away. I wonder if I can actually just, like, break its programming a little bit. Not so much, though. Excuse me. 16% of my HP every 10 seconds, not 5. Got it. Damage did... yeah, damage the area tag isn't actually that good. Because the sword doesn't count as an area weapon. Even though I think it does do an area sweep. Well, I think I'm truly ready for the desert after this. At least maybe on this guy. Unless the desert turns out to be actually stinky hard. At which point we'll find out. None of that you. Either of you. You were not stealing my gubbins today. You were in fact getting wrecked. Oh, was that actually something that was fixed for this game? I forget. I can probably re-roll these into a 9% crit chance. Heck yeah. Truly no idea what my crit chance is, because it doesn't say. Oh, here we are. Crit rate, 63%, except for that one, which is only a 46. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because it came in later? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, 60% crit rate with the amount of crit damage that I'm rolling is extremely good. I do find that I'm a little damage anemic in a lot of my runs of this game, and to be critting this hard, this often, is really making it easy. Yeah, I don't remember if this is a complaint I had with this game or was another Bullet Heaven, but one problem I often run into with Bullet Heavens with melee attacks is your character will frequently just whiff it into the air. And, you know, so it's like, oh, you've got a sword swing. You just do it when it's off cooldown. But it was never like checking, like, hey, is there an enemy nearby? So I'd whiff it at the air, and then an enemy would immediately get close. I'd have to wait a while before I could, you know, my weapon would be off cooldown. And that was always frustrating. It is always frustrating. It's not just with this game. Again, I don't remember if it was this one or not. Ability area effect, 8%, I'll take it. I want to use all of my reroll tokens here on just one ability that I'm being picky on. But yeah, so if you notice, a lot of these swords are actually waiting, ready to chop as soon as something gets nearby, and that makes for a much smoother experience for like melee combat, because this way none of my attacks are wasted. Or if they're wasted, it's like the hammer sweeping and only hitting one guy. But those sword swings are able to be held in the reserve and, you know, be used when I need them the most, as opposed to just like, oops, nothing but air over and over again. Wow, we've actually cleared this map out like super well. And yeah, I've got to be healing 36 HP per... Oh, none of that, you. There we go. Yeah, 36 HP every 10 seconds, which is helping so much. Let's see. Oh, that's where the crit chance comes from. I guess I could max out the sword. I just don't think I need it. Especially because we have one more chest. If I can find that. Oh, that's so easy. Magnet gets me everything. Oh, we got an evolution, actually. %6 chance to crit? Absolutely. So, I guess I might as well pause. Annihilator. So it's just all three swords in one. Physical, cold, and fire. Interesting. Crit damage would be tempting, but I'm going to go for the duration, as that just means more sword? Question mark. Whee! Yeah, this is where Bullet Heavens shine. The experimentation, the min-maxing of stats, and then eventually coming across the busted build that just carries the run. I should probably swap to the other side, just so I'm actually, you guys can see what level I am. The only immediate problem with this is I've got the Annihilator maybe a little bit on the late side. That, you know, I don't get to enjoy the whole run with this. However, now that I know that this is how the Annihilator works, I know the wolf starts with a sword, so easy enough to work towards. I don't know, maybe there's meta progression that makes it easier to get your hands on certain weapons in the game. Wow, he died like a chump. And I think I did get more stat points from that. I think that was 2 per boss as opposed to 1 per boss or something like that. Alright. Well, if we check quests, we are completely done with Chapter 1. In that case, I'm gonna... Oh, right. Was there something about stats with these guys? Oh, more detailed hero information in the library. If we go here, we can actually see. So, yeah, they don't have different stat scaling, but they have different starting stats. So the owl has less max HP, more armor, higher base regeneration, recovery. Oh, the owl gets bonus experience gain. Moves at the same speed. Wolf has lesser pickup radius. Same resource mining speed, but the wolf gets a 40% damage bonus, which actually shouldn't be ignored. That's actually very good. Cool. I didn't know there were as substantial statistical differences between each of the classes. Classes? Characters? I don't know. So, yeah, if I want to, I could actually exchange these things. Ah. Yeah, you can trade resources up. Before I do that, though, let's max everything out. This is what I wanted, because these pants only work for projectiles. This would have given me a flat 40% damage bonus for that character. The ice, not so much so. Let's take a look at what my build looks like. So, this has some regen. The main thing is this has the bonus attack speed that I think we need. And yeah, the pants. Because that's more crit damage multiplier. This one, ooh. This one gives AoE and regen versus this one giving crit damage. Both of those are good. This might actually, the wooden cuirass might be better. But the obsidian helmet is peerlessly good. I guess the 8% crit on the wooden helmet is pretty good. More experience gain on this game actually feels like it makes a huge difference. And maybe I'm wrong on that one. But I'm too late to find out. Let's put some points into that. And pickup radius isn't very good. I guess let's just put a point into AoE and duration. As there's a lot of grinding to be done to max this game out fully. But on the flip side, it's actually one of the... Oh, wait, what? Is that still not a hard run? Why do we only have 1 star on this place? I thought that was a hard run. I have no idea. But yeah, what I was going to say is, plus side, this is actually one of those bullet heavens that's much more like beatable. Most other bullet heavens either have massive amounts of content or just you play them endlessly. Whereas in this case, I received 10. Oh, interesting. But yeah, I might as well convert my obsidian over. Probably into fossils. We also need cactus. So that means we can also convert the rest of these over. Okay, so we want to have about 50. There we go. Can't do that one, but I can do this at the very least. So yeah, I can upcycle all of my spare resources into higher tier gear. Better to just do the run though. Either way, sorry I didn't really get too deep into Act 2. I guess we can take a look at the desert, but I should just not go too far with it. Let's see, so we want to do desert and on standard mode, because I'm pretty sure hard mode would kick my butt. But yeah, you can actually max this game out in reasonably short order. The bosses seem to give experience tokens pretty quickly. And resource-wise, like, it's not too hard to max out anything. I think the main question mostly boils down to what happens after you max the game out, but maybe it's one of those where you've just beaten it, and that's okay. On a personal level, I actually really like the idea of bullet heavens that are beatable in short order without too much fuss. As opposed to things that you're spending like dozens of hours on, as fun as that may be. Damn it. I shouldn't do it. That's gonna make this video like an hour and a half long, even though the immediate huge attack speed bonus is so tempting. Oh. We even get free stat points here. That's lovely. So that means I could just kind of dive into runs. Actually, let's leave that for a second. One way or another, I'm gonna leave us here. I enjoy this game thoroughly, but I gotta go. I got other things to work on today. And also, just mostly I don't want to let a video run on too long, no matter how much I'm enjoying it. But I really appreciate that we have one that is a 4-player co-op bullet heaven. It's becoming a lot more prevalent, but I have found, for the most part, most of them are kind of ho-hum. And I would say this is one of the more immediately engaging cooperative bullet heavens that actually like really gets the idea of synergies and infinite scaling stats and stuff, and makes me want to play more of it and see it through to the end at some point. Sooner than later, not sure, I don't know. Is too many games, way too little time. But it's definitely going on my, like, next, well, one of my next, like, hey, these are a bunch of cool bullet heavens that are actually worth trying out. And, I mean, serious props to the art. I haven't actually mentioned that too much, but this is one of the nicer looking bullet heavens that I think I've seen go by, period. It's got that really nice, I'm gonna say kind of Don't Starve adjacent aesthetic, and it works so well for this. And yeah, the tilted camera angle, I complimented it a little bit, but it actually really does make it feel like I can see what I'm doing, and makes the game feel less restrictive. Does mean things are a little bit spicy with enemies coming at me from below. God damn, I'm just getting the good stuff here. That's a little much, but it's fine. But yeah, enemies coming from below are a little tricky. I wish I could actually move the UI. Like devs, if there's any kind of post-launch support for this, I'd actually really like to be able to move my all of my stuff except for maybe my health bar and like redirect that so that it is like on the left side of the screen or something, because right now I have maybe about an inch of visuals, so when I'm moving down, it's actually really easy for enemies to sneak up on me, which cannot be done from any other angle. And yeah, it's kind of hard to have all of that big UI at the bottom getting in the way. It's not heinous, I can manage it, it's a bullet heaven. Like, this is not one of those where I need to worry too much about enemies coming off screen and ganking me, but it's still one of those where it could be moved and it would probably make the experience a little bit better for some people, me included. Anyway, literally that's the only complaint I can come up with for this game, which I think is a very good place to be. Anywho, I guess with all that said, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, it helps more than you know, and if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe, because I got tons to check out and show off. And of course, I might as well mention once again that Broventure is available now on Steam, so if you do want to pick it up and play yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. But I guess with all that said, very quick thank you to Alice Games for reaching out and sponsoring this video. It was very kind of you. It was a ton of fun. And yeah, I'll be back for more. Bullet heavens are kind of one of those that I can just bust out whenever I feel like it. You know, just hey, you know, I need a game to fill a day when I don't have any other good releases coming out. Or, hey, I got some people who are up for playing this game with me. And so this will probably come back multiple times until I'm done. But for now, I guess thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.